I talked just a few moments ago with Maureen Eichelnboom. Her son, Canadian soldier Corporal Andrew James Eichelnboom, died in Afghanistan in 2006 at the hand of a 17-year-old suicide bomber. She said, in much the same way you did, a sober sense of relief, a quiet sense of relief when she heard the news, but she certainly didn't feel that her son had died in vain. He was a medic and he was doing good work there.
Well, as I say, there's a lot of good work being done to help the Afghan people, but the biggest single achievement, if we look back on this, is the fact that this country, which was 10 years ago the threat, actually was able to carry out, enormous attacks on our society, in case the World Trade that simply is not conceivable today. Now, unfortunately, it is conceivable from some other countries, but that, her son and those who have served like him and have sacrificed have made that possible, as they have throughout our history. I do remind peace and prosperity, the right to vote we're exercising today, all these have been won by people who have been willing to put themselves on the line for our country and our values.
Have you cast a ballot?
I have not yet, but I will be doing that not too long. You're certain that I will vote, and I encourage all other people to vote, and I encourage people to do the same as me and vote Conservative.
Prime Minister, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Prime Minister Stephen Harper, we encourage you to vote too, but we encourage you to vote whichever way you feel is appropriate. We break for the news to the bottom of the hour. We'll come back with your calls to our Monday morning quarterbacks, Michael Byers and Tim Powers. 604-280-9898. Jeff, good morning.
Hi, Bill. In the last, 20 minutes listening to your show, I've experienced like three emotions. The first was disappointment, the second was angered, and the third was disgusted. The disappointment.
The third was which?
Was disgusted.
Disgusting.
Disgusted.
Tell me why.
Okay, well, disappointed because I thought it was unfair to have one of the leaders on the radio today, albeit it was around Osama bin Laden, fair enough. We could have heard the Prime Minister's comment tomorrow. I thought it was unfair to give any leader on Election Day that kind of exposure. I was angered, actually, at our Prime Minister.
Well, Jeff, just let me tell you that Mr. Ignatieff has already been on. Leighton was on Friday for 10 minutes. There's nothing that says on Election Day you don't cover the news. This was big news. The Prime Minister responded to the news of the day. The only rules that we have are that we don't broadcast partisan advertising. We don't stop talking about the events of the day or news.
Okay. The angered part, Bill, was when our Prime Minister expressed clear joy. He said, "I'm happy to see he's dead." I would have been much happier to see he was captured. I don't celebrate anybody's death, and I don't think Canadians do. Now the disgusted part. The disgusted, Bill, was when the Prime Minister advertised Conservative Party, and you fixed it, but not completely. I mean, he advertised people to vote Conservative at the end of the call. And isn't that illegal?
Could I jump in here? It's Michael Byers.
Yes, Michael, please.
The campaign ended yesterday, and I agree with the caller. The Prime Minister was walking a fine line up until the point where he crossed that line and explicitly called for people to vote Conservative. If that is not illegal, it is highly improper. It reflects a willingness on the part of Stephen Harper to break the rules.